Yeah. Richa, can you stop the recording? Richa. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us for our webinar on Indian pharma market performance for the month of November. The performance for the month of November has been quite robust, and we have tried to analyze what may be the reasons for this robust performance. The content for today, what we will be discussing is there has been a lot of discussion about drugs going off patent. We had discussed about Sitagliptin market some 3 months back. Later, after that, we really did not discuss much about what's happening in the market for the last 2 months. But we thought about let us review on what we had discussed about what may be happening in the market and what has actually happened. Then there is another blockbuster drug combination, sacubitril plus valsartan, which is going off patent, and we are looking at what is the expected impact on the innovators and the patients because of this loss of patent. There are some more drugs which are going off patent soon, and we are evaluating what is the opportunity that lies in front of the Indian pharma market and how it makes life easy for the patients in the Indian market. Then we look at the IPM therapy for the month in terms of overall performance, the growth drivers, and the reasons for high growth. We also look at top 40 corporates and brands, the key takeaways, and opinions that matter section. We have social corporate responsibility of a therapy leader, a very interesting discussion with Dr. Vikas Gupta, who is the head of the Indian RX business for Cipla. So first, we go to the off-patent opportunities, the Sitagliptin story so far. If you look at the Sitagliptin market, what's happened? Today, we have close to 151 brands operating in the market and close to 46 companies which have entered the generics market to make the most of the Sitagliptin generics opportunity. How was the new launches happening? What was the frequency or the extent to which new launches happened after patent expiry? We saw maximum action in the month of July, where close to 95 brands were launched. Later on in the month of August, September, there were around 22-21 brands launched in the market. And the last 2 months, the activity has been actually very dull. In fact, for the month of November, not a single new brand has been launched in the Sitagliptin market. Okay, if there are close to 151 brands in the market, what is the market share? How have these brands impacted the innovator brand or the innovator company or the company with which the innovator company had partnered, essentially MSD and Sun Pharma, and how have the value and quantity market shares of Januvia, Janumet, Istavel, Istamet been impacted because of this off-patent action? So we have looked at the value and quantity for the market share of innovators and their partners and the market share of the top 10 generics. So if there are close to 53 brands in this market, we look at the top 10 generic brands. So if you look at the market share of Sitagliptin in terms of value for the innovators and the top 10 generics, in fact, it is these 12 brands which contribute to around 90% of the value market for plains as well as combinations. If I were to look at in terms of quantity, similarly, 80 to 90% of the contribution comes from these top 10 to 12 brands. Essentially, it means that though there may be many companies and many brands which entered the market to tap this opportunity, not everybody could make the most of it. It is only the core players which managed to make most of this opportunity. Essentially, it also means that the current patients which were loyal or which were on the Januvia, Janumet, Istavel, Istamet, they continued on this therapy. Also, the doctors which had a strong liking for these innovator brands or which believe in innovator brands continue writing the innovator brands for the patients who can afford. We also try to look at the Sitagliptin value and quantity trend for planes as well as combination. In fact, in this period, post-patent loss, there was a steep increase in the quantity consumption, which over a period of time, in fact, in the last 2 months, if you see, the consumption has plateaued. On the other hand, if I look at the sitagliptin plus metformin, the pickup was not that steep, but we see a similar plateau in the last 2 months. This is also telling us that it is the patient base which was to be captured or which is being captured again is going at its normal growth rate. After sitagliptin, we try to look at the sacubitril plus valsartan opportunity in India. In fact, this is a globally famous combination or a globally accepted combination for a heart failure. And if I look at the opportunity for India, there is an estimated population of close to 10 million heart failure patients in India. If I look at the brands which are operating in market, the innovator company is Novartis, which has partnered with Lupin and Cipla with for Sigmas and Asmada. In fact, now this Lupin brand is being marketed by DRL and Cipla brand is marketed by JB Chemicals. Post-patent loss, which may happen in Jan 23, we see close to 40 companies which are expected to enter the market and with almost 50 to 75% price reduction. So when we talk about price reduction, how is it very attractive for us? If you see on an average, the price per tablet over here is ranges between 80 rupees to I would say 160 rupees, and the dosage is twice a day, essentially meaning the cost per day of the therapy is around 150 to 300 rupees, and the compliance or the duration to which the patients take this drug is in the range of 3 to 6 months. So you see the cost of therapy for this sacubitril plus valsartan combination is very high. Now, with the prices slashing down by 50 to 75%, this drug is available for a bigger population who could hardly afford this type of treatment. Now, what are these strong USPs of this molecule or combination which it possesses, which will now be available for a bigger mass of population? This combination has got a strong scientific data on heart failure over and above the ACE inhibitors. It has got better mortality and morbidity rates and almost 20% reduction in hospitalization. In fact, it has got a better quality of life and faster improvement in symptoms. It is one of the four foundational treatments as per heart failure guidelines. And it has got a stronger scope to replace ACE inhibitors and ARBs in heart failure treatment. All the drugs prior to sacubitril plus valsartan were not superior to ACE inhibitors, which was considered to be a gold standard. However, sacubitril and valsartan is the first drug superior to ACE inhibitors. In fact, if you look at the size of the market, ACE inhibitors planes plus combination is close to 600 crore market, whereas this is close to 435 crore market. Now, with the cost of drug going down, probably it is this combination which may start eating into the ACE inhibitor market. Now, what are the other major drugs which are going off patent in the next decade? If you see, there are many brands or many molecules which will be going off patent in the next 7 to 8 months. In fact, there are certain brands which are already famous in the Indian market and have in fact, they are well-known names. In fact, Eliquis, Eylea, Trulicity, Cosentyx, Victoza, these are very popular brands in the market. And if they go off patent, a stronger population or a stronger mass of population gets access to these medicines, and also many Indian pharma market can benefit from it. Again, a word of caution. Though there may be 100, 200 players which may enter this market, it is only 10 to 12 players which actually manage to make the most of the drug going off patent opportunity. Next, we go to the IPM therapy performance for the month. If I look at the overall performance, the month of November has been exceptionally good for all the top 20, all the therapies. If you see, all the therapies have shown a good, robust double-digit growth. Some therapies like respiratory, it may be a seasonal impact, but otherwise still there are many therapies which have shown, or almost all therapies which have shown a double-digit value growth. Also, the unit growth is also positive, double-digit in many instances. So it is not just a price-driven growth, a genuine volume increase has also happened. So we try to check on the growth drivers piece. So if you see over here, price-driven growth is contributing to around 7% and volume-driven growth around 8%. So while many of the companies or many of the brands have taken advantage of price increase, there is a genuine demand, increase in demand, which has also pushed the growth of the market. How did the situation look same time last year? In fact, same time last year, we have seen that the price-driven growth was the one which had actually majorly made the market grow. This is not the same situation today. We also try to look at each and every therapy, each and every key therapy, what is the contribution of different growth drivers. In majority of the therapies, volume as well as price have played a key role in the growth of the market, except in anti-diabetes therapy where Sitagliptin generics, which have driven the growth of the market. And since the price of these drugs is generics is on a lower side, the price-driven growth looks to be on a smaller side. We did a little long-term linear trend analysis wherein we try to look at how does this line, the monthly trend line, look against the normal growths or normal trend lines. We have seen that in the month of September, from September to October, there was a significant dip in the sales, and this sales has picked up now. So probably it is this loss in sales which may have happened in the last 2 months, which has got picked up, and that's the reason, also one of the reasons why the market has shown a good double-digit growth. We did a similar analysis to some of the key therapies in the market, wherein we have seen that for the cardiac market, we see the dip followed by an upward movement. In the anti-diabetes segment also, we see a dip followed by a strong upward movement. But in both the cases, the line or the actual line trend comes in line with the long-term linear trend. So it's not an aberration as such. It's a normal pickup which the market has shown. In case of gastrotherapy, unit consumption seems to have gone far below the normal linear trend line. But this is again not an aberration. It's a normal thing because gastrotherapy picks up in the month of monsoon and it goes down now. So it's a normal trend line. In case of anti-infectives, we are seeing a little unusually high growth or unusually upward movement from the linear trend line. If you see for the month of September, October, it is much above the linear trend line. Same was not the case in the month of November, same time last year. Now, which are the anti-infectives which are contributing to this type of growth or this type of performance? It is majorly the hospital anti-infectives which have led to this type of trend. Coming to the nutritional segment, as far as the units is concerned, it is below the trend line, but in terms of value, it is slightly above the long-term linear trend line, which is also indicating that the price is driving the growth of this market to a good extent. Respiratory, yes, both the value and the unit trends are much above the linear trend line. The reason for the same being this is a seasonal drug. I mean, respiratory, the cough and cold segment, the asthma segment, it actually picks up in the winter season and it is following the normal seasonal trend. Coming to the pain analgesic segment, though the unit consumption seems to have gone down, it is the value which has shown an upward movement. Neuro-CNS, this is the usual trend where it goes up and down in a specific months. Even in the gynac segment, you see there was a significant dip from September to October, and this dip has picked up. But yes, even for gynac segment, I would say that this pickup is little more than the average monthly average trend which the market shows. So essentially, it is, if you look at the top 10 therapies, it is majorly the dip which had happened from the month of September to October. That dip in demand has stabilized, it has moved up or it has recovered. And that may be one of the reasons why we see a stronger growth for the month of November. Then we look at the top 40 corporates and the brands. If I look at the top 40 corporates, almost all of them have shown a very good and very robust double-digit growth in terms of value as well as units. If I were to look at the next 40 corporates, or next 20 corporates, they have shown a very good, robust double-digit growth. However, there seems to be a slowing down of growth in a few corporates when it comes to the ones ranked from rank 21 to 40. Coming to the top brands, Augmentin, Glycomet GP and Mixtard, they continue to be in their rank 1, 2 and 3 position at a MAT level. However, among the top brands, there seems to be a slowing down of volume growth or unit growth in a few cases like Glycomet GP, Mixtard and Lactose. They are more of anti-diabetic products, may be a market-specific phenomena. If I were to look at the next brands ranked from 21 to 40, there seems to be a slowdown in the growth in a few top brands. So if I were to talk about the key takeaways, the race for optimizing the off-patent opportunity in Sitagliptin markets looks to have slowed down. Sacubitril plus valsartan looks to be a new opportunity being pursued by more than 40 players in the market, who may claim to bring down the cost of therapy by close to 50 to 75%, thereby making heart failure treatment and management more affordable to the Indian population. Many drugs scheduled to go off patent this decade, opening a window of opportunity for the pharma players. And the month of November 22 has been exceptionally good for the Indian pharma market, with majority of the therapies showing a robust value and unit growth. A good number of corporates have shown a robust value and unit growth for the month of November. So this was all about how the Indian pharma market has performed, what is the off-patent opportunity, how the market is making the most of it, and what can be expected in the next decade. Now we go to our most awaited section, Opinions That Matter, wherein we discuss about the social corporate responsibility of a therapy leader. Our speaker, Dr. Vikas Gupta, the India RX head for Cipla.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Opinions That Matter. This month, we got an opportunity of speaking to Cipla. So let me welcome Dr. Vikas Gupta, who is heading the India operations, and let's learn from him what Puracot has been doing all this time. Sir, welcome to Opinions That Matter. So please correct me if I'm wrong, but then I've heard that there are only two corporates in the country who have their own biographies, and in the pharma space, it is only Cipla who has a biography, the Cipla story. Please tell us something about the Cipla story.
Oh yes, really. The journey of last 87 years has been beautifully captured in that book. It's called the Cipla story. And as you mentioned, there are only two corporates out of India which have got this kind of documentation of the wonderful journey that's there for generations to learn. It also captures beautifully the whole journey in the field of respiratory and how we have remained true to our true purpose of caring for life. How we have from time to time fought various battles and ensured that the patients do get the right treatment options. We make the drugs more and more accessible to them with every passing year. Respiratory has been something which has been at the core of what we have done, not only in India, but even globally now. So we have always worked on bringing out newer and newer therapies. We've always worked on bringing out newer and newer formats which are very, very patient friendly, and how we can enable patients, how we can enable doctors to offer the right therapy for management of asthma and COPD. I think that journey is beautifully captured in that book. There are various milestones that are covered in that book, and really that are inspiring, each one of us even today. Whenever we are down, we look back. Whenever we are down, we go through the learnings and the curve and the journey that has been there over a period of time. And it really gives us a new sense of energy, and we get back to our mission of making a difference and living to our true purpose of caring for life.
Cipla is a dominant player in the respiratory market, and this in a way also makes it Cipla's responsibility to drive the patient benefit initiatives. So what is Cipla doing about that?
As a leader in the respiratory category, patient-focused innovation is embedded in our DNA. innovations that have addressed the real life problems of both asthma and COPD patients, and perhaps have helped distinguish the brand in a crowded category. And that is what sets us apart from many other players. For Foracort especially, we introduced new generation devices like the Synchrotine, that helped address the incorrect inhaler technique. The development of breath actuated inhalers represents a significant transformation in the inhaled drug delivery. Not only that, we have established use of Foracort as a smart therapy. We have always kept patient at the center of what we do and have always aimed at launching the patient-centric initiatives like the Payroll Zindagi and the Breathe network that we have that has really helped change the perception of the common man towards inhalers. It has helped in addressing a lot of myths that have been there that are associated with the therapy. And from time to time, we have addressed those myths through various campaigns and perhaps placed inhalers as an effective treatment option. We've always engaged with people with the information, and thereby we've encouraged them to take the necessary actions. And that has helped the healthcare practitioners in offering the therapy to more and more patients.
Now, sir, let me take this opportunity to formally congratulate you for winning the AWACS Pharma and Marketing Excellence Awards 2022 for Foracort. How did Foracort set itself apart from the rest of the market then?
Foracort has been the flagship brand of Cipla. Over the course of last decades or so, the brand has attempted to address the needs of patients and doctors alike. We've always aimed at improving the therapy outcomes. With approach of patient-focused innovation, Foracort is the India's #1 inhaled respiratory brand, reaching out to more than 70 lakh asthma and COPD patients. Foracort is a brand of many firsts. The first brand to introduce a dose counter inhaler, brought QR codes on packs which help in better patient education. The first to launch ICS-LABA combination in a Respule format. India's first indigenously developed breath-actuated inhaler, and many more.
Sir, I would not want to lie, but then all the details that you just shared with us is tempting me to ask you, what are your visions for Foracort in the coming years?
Well, we have never set a milestone for us. What we have always worked on is that the journey has just started. A brand like Foracort has to reach a large number of patients. We will never stop at making a difference to the field of respiratory and to the benefits that the brand or the drug can offer to the deserving patients. Our mission is to create an ecosystem that not just provides the therapy solutions, but works to raise awareness, to keep educating patients, and to keep empowering patients for getting the benefits. These patients who are dealing with asthma, with COPD, with other respiratory illness, I guess through our relentless pursuit of patient-centric innovation, we want to boost the management of asthma, COPD diagnosis, and work on adherence of the therapy, thereby improving the treatment outcomes, bolster our positioning when it comes to the therapy effectiveness. And perhaps that's what the brand has stood for in all these years, and that's what we intend to do in the coming years.
So thank you so much for giving us your time. It was lovely talking to you and getting to know so much about Cipla as a corporate and the social responsibilities that the company is taking over. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all for joining us today morning. I hope you have a lovely day ahead.